Ahoy there folks, I'm Captain Benzie and today's video is something a little bit different for you. This week Apex Legends Mobile finally dropped, finally released after what feels like years of development and teasers and screenshots and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not likely to switch into an Apex Legends Mobile channel anytime soon, but I did want to showcase it to you guys and talk a little bit about it. I used to play a lot of Apex back when it first launched, and since I got my laptop I have jumped in from time to time with my wife and her brother who lives in Malaysia, and you know, I'm not great at it, let's say. There's a bit of a joke in the community that ultimately Benzie is terrible at first-person shooters. I once was streaming Killzone Shadowfall and actually died during the tutorial. I actually had one of the devs at Gorilla on the stream at the time asking, I didn't even know it was possible to die at that situation. I am not good at first-person shooters, but I do enjoy Apex. I like the Titanfall lore and background. It's sci-fi, of course I do, but I also like a lot of the things that Apex brings to the Battle Royale genre, and I am a bit of a fan of the Battle Royale genre. I'm not great at it, but I do enjoy a match from time to time, and I get to cheat because I've got an Asus ROG Phone 3 that has air triggers, and that is remarkably useful in games like this, but of course controller support is in Apex as well. So what I wanted to do today is just give you an overview of the game itself, and then showcase a match which I'm going to sort of spectate and commentate with myself over the top of it, because it was a lot of fun and, well, I just want to showcase this to you. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and if you do, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and, well, you know the rest by now. Now, Apex Legends is of course a Battle Royale game designed originally by Respawn and EA. It is now on mobile as well, and it's not cross-platform. That should be stressed immediately. This is a different game that does have some of its own mechanics. It's got its own unique skins. Heck, it has its own unique legend in it at the moment, a guy called Fade who I've yet to unlock. But what I've always enjoyed about Apex Legends compared to other Battle Royales is A, when you are down, people can still respawn you back in, and B, the ping system was absolutely revolutionary, and C, I like the sci-fi aesthetic and that to it. It always felt a bit more interesting to me than probably the more pure Battle Royales like PUBG and Fortnite. Fortnite I could never get into because of the whole building mechanic side of things. PUBG was awesome, it's a bit too realistic for me, you know? I like a bit of the sci-fi and a bit of the hero abilities in Apex is always something that I've really enjoyed. Basically, you pick your legend and your two teammates pick their legend. Every legend has their own unique capabilities that they bring to the field. For example, Bloodhound here. Bloodhound has an ability where they can open up sort of like a ping in front of them, like a radar that will highlight any enemies. They can go into like a blood rage that again highlights enemies and increases movement speed and things like that. Gibraltar, being the sort of tank of the team, he has shield capabilities. His actual passive is that when he pulls up a weapon, he gets a little shield in front of him that makes it harder to damage him, and he can drop a shield on the ground as well, that like a dome that players can hide in and, you know, take cover from incoming fire, things like that. You've got Lifeline, who is the healer of the party. She's got a healing drone, you can see her leaning on it there, that she uses to, you know, she can drop into the field and friendly players can stand nearby it to, you know, to heal up. She can also bring in, like, supply drops from, like, orbit, drops those into the battlefield to help you upgrade your equipment. Pathfinder's all about fast movement. He can use zip lines and has, like, a slingshot, like a hookshot ability that you can use to get around. Bangalore is very much your front and center fighter. She moves faster if she's under enemy fire, she can bring down an artillery strike, and she can drop smoke grenades onto the battlefield as well. Mirage can create, as the name would suggest, clones of himself that sort of just shoot out and are there to distract your opponent. Octane is a fast-moving speed freak, can drop little speed packs, constantly regenerates his health a little bit, and can boost himself at high speeds. Wraith is a sort of temporal hunter. She can open up portals and zip around the battlefield between those and can phase in and out of existence as required. Caustic is the typical bad guy, big gas grenades and traps and things like that. And Fade, well, I don't actually know yet. I've yet to try Fade. As you can see, I haven't unlocked him yet. And this brings me to my first sort of complaint in inverted commas about Apex Mobile, in that it is a typical mobile battle royale, in that, oh, there are 1,000,001 currencies. You've not just got your Apex coins and your legend tokens and like your craftable materials. No, now you have all of these different things as well that you can use to get like, to unlock Phage, you need to have 10 of his specific token, and you can get those in various different ways. There's something called Flux. There's a lot of different tokens that just kind of get thrown at you, and the menu system is not exactly ideal for navigating and explaining what this all is. So you kind of just finish a map and you've got red dots all over the place, so you just tap on everything, collect everything, and as I found out with my wife and that, she found things that I'd missed, I found things that she'd missed, and yeah, there's that kind of disappointment. But hey, there's a brand new game. It's one of those things you're always going to get teething errors. One of the things I do quite like as well is if we go into Bangalore, for example, she's one I've been using a lot, you now have perks in Apex Mobile. These are, as you level up a character, as you do things with that character, you can start unlocking new abilities. Like here we have Run and Gun. When sprinting, your reload speed is increased. Finishers, battle adaptation, using your finisher adds 100 points to your Evo shield, so you can increase your armor by using a finisher rather than just shooting someone to death. An element of surprise, your squad has reduced footsteps downs when covered by smoke, and you can unlock more of these as you sort of progress through the game. And I actually quite like this system. It's not pay to win, it's definitely much more you get an advantage for using, a slight advantage for using a character that you're familiar with over and over again. And you can see it's kind of like a tech tree here that allows you to take these, and toward the end of them, rather than giving you sort of super high power abilities, instead you get some cool like avatar frames and avatars that you can use to fit into your profile. Like if I come back to the front page, you can see that here on the top left. Now obviously I need to play this a lot more. We're only 3 days in at the moment, and I've not had all that much chance to sit down with it because of EVE Echoes and EVE Online, but you can see I'm going to jump into a match, or I'm going to showcase a match that I jumped into. We're going to have a look at how this actually plays, and the amount of fun that I was having in this was palpable. In this particular match, I am playing as Bloodhound. They're a character that I do quite enjoy because of that sort of scouting and information ability. The other one I tend to play as is Bangalore because of that sort of vanilla just combat, don't worry too much about your abilities, but the smoke can be very useful for getting in and out. Obviously, there are a lot of team synergies as well, like when Bangalore pops her smoke, the fact that Bloodhound can highlight players on the enemy team is a great little bit of synergy there. So after some nice animations which aren't in the basic version of the game, the PC and console version, we are now here on World's Edge, and like with any good battle royale, you are in your aircraft. We get a nice little look at the map here with different names, which is really useful because if you get like a battle pass mission that says you need to land in a certain area, if you're not familiar with the map, you can just kind of look around and pick that point. Now, I am playing on Ultra here, on Ultra settings, because my phone can handle it, and you'll see that as we go around, bit of a rough start on this particular drop. I like the fact that you've got the foot markers there showing that someone is nearby, and I can therefore know that there's an enemy nearby. I need to grab something quickly. Screw it, Mozambique, terrible weapon, but let's get going. And we've got an opponent here, so I'm going to start shooting at him to the best of my ability, grab some ammo, and chase him down. Now again, this is where the air triggers on the Asus ROG do actually come really in handy, because I can aim and shoot just that little bit easier than I would otherwise. Does that give me an advantage? Yeah, probably in the early stages against people who aren't used to playing the game, but I'm sure to come up against people who are much more familiar with standard controls, like from playing PUBG and stuff in the past, I'm going to then struggle. And again, the game does have full-on controller support as well. Here I'm trying to loot the bin just to get some more ammo. I can see the footprints. There's a Gibraltar. Oh, I've got the Peacekeeper now, and I'm just going to chase him down. Oh, we've got a Lifeline as well. Keep some distance, just keep shooting with that shotgun. Straight close range damage, and that's an entire squad down in one go. I'm the kill leader, yay! That means I have the most kills currently out of any other player in this match. Now, it's early on, and I'm sure some of these are bots. Equally, some of the names that I saw, I'm pretty certain. I saw one called Milf and Cookies, for crying out loud. I'm pretty sure that's not a bot. I'm not even sure that's an allowed name in general, but hey. So I've now got a Prowler, which is a fairly fast-firing sort of weapon that uses heavy ammunition, and I've got the Peacekeeper, which is a short, close-range shotgun. Very high damage, but obviously spreads out over a large radius, so you need to be quite close to maximise that damage. I'm opening up the supply bins here, just getting everything I can, looting up some ammo, making sure I've got enough in the way of defences, looking for better shields, helmets, and things like the shield batteries and that I can use to repair my shields. If you actually have a look at the bottom of the screen here, you can see there's a blue bar that's currently about halfway full. That is my shields. To the right of that, you can see an item I have 8 of. That's 8 shield batteries. I probably should have been using one of those to get my shield back up to the full 100%, but I'm too busy kind of chasing down my opponents and trying to find my teammates. I can see them up on the mini-map on the left-hand side, and of course I get a highlight on the central screen as well when they're around. You'll also notice that I have holstered my weapon. You can see my hands moving. It helps me run a bit faster by not having my weapon out. And here we are, I'm finally meeting up with my teammates. So we're going to look for some stuff going on, and again, I've got gunfire shots here on the screen in front of me. I like that they have these audio-visual markers as well. I'm not great at spotting stuff, so when you can see where the gunfire is on screen, it really helps. And in a mobile game as well, I love this specifically because not everyone's using a high-quality headset in a mobile game. It just really helps you actually pick the angle of where someone is. So my teammates and I have cleaned off this squad as well. You can see the lifeline there is down. Oh, and we've got another player. That's another Bloodhound. Down they go. Let's loot their crates, pick some items. Oh, and that's a flatline. Flatline is actually one of my favourite weapons in the game in general, so that's one I want to swap to. And the R301, which again is another, I think, sorry, the R99 SMG. Nice. I like fast-firing weapons for the most part because it's harder to miss when you just put an entire hailstorm of bullets downwind. I like to basically fire so many bullets that I definitely hit something. That's the theory, at least, and it seems to work for me. There we are. Shield cells to repair my shields. There we go. And I'm going to use my special ability to check for enemy hostiles nearby. Nothing yet. Now, one thing I will say about Apex as well, even when I wasn't using the air triggers, the amount of buttons on screen does appear overwhelming at first, but you will very quickly get used to that. There is the capability of moving, resizing, and like repositioning most of these buttons as well, which is absolutely vital. A lot of people have complained early on, my wife as well noted it, that a lot of the buttons are so close together that whilst you're just running and like looking around, you will often accidentally tap the shoot button, which wastes ammo and obviously alerts enemies as to where you are. Shoot down the little supply bubble thing there. Little bit of lag. For the most part, lag has been pretty good for me on this. You can see it in the top left here. I'm sitting on about 200 at the moment, 207. For the most part, I tend to sit between about 150 and 250, which it's playable. I can work with that. The PC and PlayStation 5 version, or PS4 version, played on the PS5, often lags up a lot worse than that, and I sit on literally 450, 500 milliseconds, and that isn't fun at all. Another team down there, or rather at least 2 members of that team. Looking at their weapons, nothing I particularly want. It's energy weapons. I'm using a heavy weapon and a light ammo weapon. No one else nearby either. We're in the ring, because of course this is a battle royale, which means there is a ring, and it does close in on you, so you need to be in the right position when the ring closes or you take damage. My team are busy looting, so I run back and have a check as well. And these were actually the guys I killed right at the start, but no real point going and looking for anything there. Fully heal up my shields a bit, and let's go hunting again. So with Apex as well, you have this ability to ping. You may have seen sort of a little green icon flash there in the distance. It's right there in front of me. That's me saying, hey, let's go this way. It means that even without a headset or using a microphone or anything like that, you can actually communicate with your teammates really quite nicely, and it is context sensitive, which I really like as well. If you ping just something, it'll be like, hey, let's go this way. If you ping while looking at a weapon or an item, you will announce that item or weapon to your team. So like, saying, hey, there's an R99 here. So you're saying if anyone wants that, here it is. Or if someone has also pinged their ammunition and said, hey, I'm running low on light ammo, you can ping light ammo to let them know where it is. Same with upgrades, like, oh, there's a really nice shield upgrade here and things like that. You can keep an eye on it and ping it. What Apex Mobile really does nicely as well, and my team are shooting at something, you can see in the top right the gun fire coming off the Octane player at the top, which means, yep, I'm going to turn around and run back. One of the things that Apex Mobile does that the PC and console versions don't do is that it actually auto-pings certain things for you. Now, this is sort of a good thing and a bad thing. I've already seen people complaining that it kind of spams up the chat and all that, but I really like it. If you look at a blue quality or higher item, and then you look away, so blue or purple item, like here, I look at this I look at that Phoenix kit, I actually loot it myself, but if I had looked at that and then turned away, my character would actually automatically announce it's there to my team, which is kind of a nice way of saying, I didn't want to pick this up, but I didn't have time to ping it because I'm too busy moving, or I'm just forgetful, or I'm inconsiderate. Ultimately, I'm still alerting my team that there is high quality loot around that they can check out if they want, and I personally really like that. Like here, this hop-up, hammer point rounds, that's not on a weapon I'm using. I'm grabbing it just in case because there are some weapons that I would like to use that hop-up, but again, it would automatically ping and alert my teammates that, oh, it's there. There's also gunfire going on. I'm happy looting up. I've got 6 kills so far. I'm kind of comfortable with that. I'm not being super aggressive at this point, but hey, we're going to move in anyway, keep looting, keep an eye out for enemy teams around. Loot some more bins here. You might be asking what the difference between the blue bins and the red bins are as well. That is to do with Lifeline's passive. She gets more loot out of blue bins than other players would. They open up with like healing items at the bottom. You can see some of the other weapons here. That's the EVA 8 Auto, which, yeah, I'm tempted by. I like this gun. That is a nice shotgun, but I've got too many hop-ups and that for the R99, so we're going to focus on those instead. Grab all the stuff I need there, equip that back onto the gun, because guns themselves can also be upgraded in this. You'll see the R99 there, just underneath its icon, there's like a little blue bar and then some other little icons. That's like your stock, your barrel stabilizer, hop-ups and scopes and things like that. Now here I get a really nasty bit of lag, and it completely screws me because I run over that jump pad and it just doesn't trigger, so I have to manually run around and up the hill, which not ideal, but there we go. But yeah, you can upgrade things like the barrel stabilizer, the ammo clips, so you can have more ammunition being held in your gun, bigger capacity, that kind of thing. Better stocks, which add more stability. You can upgrade the weapons as you go, and if you know the kind of weapons that you are good at, then obviously you can build for one of those particular weapons and just look for the parts for it. But alternatively, if you start finding really nice parts, you can kind of grab those on the anticipation you'll get the weapon. For example, if you find the turbocharger, that's one you might want to hold on to and then get a couple of little bits of energy ammunition in case you spot the devotion, because the turbocharger just makes that thing ridiculous. And oh dear, I am being shot at. Where was that coming from? I can see the footprints and this stuff coming from this direction. Let's shoot this Lifeline. There we are. Now, the ideal situation as well is not to sit there and reload in the middle of combat. You do really want to swap weapons rather than reloading, because it just gives you more ammunition in a certain period of time, and that Lifeline, she tried to heal. Nope, we're not allowing that. Finisher, down she goes. Boom. Purple box there means she's got some good loot on her. Anything interesting? Yes. Very nice. I just upgraded the heavy ammo capacity on my flatline there. I got a new stock for the R99. That was a pretty nice little drop. Kills all very well and good, but the loot is what matters most. At least I like to think so. Anyway, so on we go here now. I've now got you can see the flatline's now holding 34 bullets, rather than the, whatever it was previously, 32, I think. Now that I've upgraded to the epic level, my teammates are pinging and they're in combat, and I'm like, oh my goodness, can we just move? Like, we need to get further into the ring. We can kill people when we're around. My team are just off doing their own thing over this side here. So back we go. It's also pretty cool that when you're going downhill, if you're running downhill and you crouch, you sort of slide on your knees. And again, oh look, I'm being shot at on my own, so let's jump back in and take some of these guys out. Use my special ability with Bloodhound to actually highlight where they are. Absolutely rinse that poor little Bangalore there. Down she goes, eliminated. Cool, anyone else around? I'm not seeing anything, so I'm going to spend a brief moment looting. Awesome epic stock there on the R99 now as well. And up goes my, reload everything. Oh, and someone's shooting at me again. Cool, we've got 2 teammates this time. Incoming there, we've got a Gibraltar. And I think that was an Octane, but I can't quite tell. Gibraltar, you can tell because he's quite a big chunky character, especially when you start to shoot at him, he starts to shoot at you, and you can see, oh my goodness, there's like 3 of them there. Let's go down this way. That's at least another team, and there's more coming in there. It's just too many people shooting at this point. There we are, he's down. I'm gonna reload. I should really reload both weapons. That's Gibraltar's shield there that I was talking about, his dome. If you can't shoot into or out of that, but you can kind of duck in and out of it as you need. Taking Gibraltar down though, cool, that's a couple of other people around there. We've got a Lifeline and a Bangalore. I'm just going to keep shooting, keep moving. This is a very mobile game, and I don't mean mobile as in you play it on your phone, although that fits as well. Of course, I'm talking about the whole just like keeping moving, keeping yourself, don't stand still. Loot up these guys, and a little bit annoying that my teammate Bangalore here has dropped smoke after the fight. That was a little bit stupid, but hey, there we go. They arrived just in the nick of time and sort of came in behind the team that I was shooting. Let's reload as I go. You'll also notice that my shield now is a full red quality Evo shield. Basically, the more kills and more damage you deal, you start to upgrade your armor in this. So what starts off as just like a white shield with I think 25 points of defense, as you kill people you start increasing it to a blue shield, and then I think it's every bar is another, so it's white for 50 because it's 2 bars, blue is 75 because it's 3 bars, I think it's 25 damage increments. So here basically I've got 125 additional HP by having that full red shield on. Now we've got the city up front here. We're getting close. If you look at the top right of the screen, you can see we've gone from 20 squads at the start of this, down to 13 squads. And again, people just coming out of nowhere, shooting at me. God bless the air triggers here. Really help me with my aim, because I can just press my left finger down at the top of the phone and aim down sights like that. I can then obviously just use the right trigger, where my right finger is, to fire, and I can just, use my thumb is purely now about the whole actually aiming and turning the camera around. Got more people coming up from all directions. Nearly get hit by a train there. That wouldn't have been good. Gives me a few seconds breathing room to use a shield battery and just bring my shields back up to full. There we are, now that's down. You can see there, he's on the train and going off into the distance. He does jump off. There he is. And so we're going to try and take him down. You can also tell what kind of armor someone has when you shoot at them. So when you're hitting them and you're getting purple flashes and purple numbers, that means they've got a purple quality shield, so you kind of know how much damage you need to do to take that down. And straight away, remember a second ago I mentioned that we were at 13 squads? We are now on 4. I was about to say about 5. As I said, we are now on. It went from 5 to 4. That has just dropped like a stone, and people are still shooting at me there. Like, come on, give me some time here. I'm taking a bit of damage, but again, my aim is good enough, and I've got a high enough shield that I can just rinse these guys down. Again, some of them are probably bots. Early on in a game like this, you do tend to go mainly up against bots until you hit usually about level 5 or 10 or whatever. When you have the capability of going up against other players, and they add more and more in. As I said though, I don't think all of these are bots. I think it's just a lot of bots thrown in with other players. Either way, you know what? I'm having fun shooting things, and that's always a good time for me. Okay, not literally always. There are probably situations in life where shooting at things is not a good time, but in a video game, yeah, it's good fun. And there we are, we've got 2 squads left, and we are one of those 2 squads, which means we are very close to endgame at this point. We just need to find where these other people are and, well, kill them. Or let them kill themselves if they're outside the ring when it closes, and they take a lot of damage. There, you see that from time to time as well, the ring closes and you don't see any fighting going on, but suddenly you go from 5 squads down to 3 squads, and it's like, oh yeah, they were all outside the ring then and just took all that extra damage. Looting through, looking for some interesting stuff there, nothing much to go through. I could probably drop some of the stuff in my pack at this point, but equally I'm armed to the teeth, so it doesn't matter all that much. Now looking at the mini-map, you can see that we are currently inside the ring, that white circle. That means that when the timer ends, the damaging area will be outside that white circle. If we're inside it, we will be safe. So I want to now just make sure we stay within this circle, go looking for other people to kill. Now, I don't know if that was an actual bullet that just flew past, or if that was just sort of like graphical screen tearing. So I'm just going to keep my wits about me, keep moving around, use my ability. I probably should have waited till I was closer to the building there. But just to check, and see if there's anyone around. And having a supply drop come in like this is usually a good time to go hunting as well, because you can guarantee that other players are going to be coming towards that supply drop for the high quality loot that it brings, so it kind of provides a little focal point. That red stuff you saw in the sky behind as well, that is the ring, and you can see on the minimap how quickly that is now closing. We are on the inside edges of it. That gives us, you know, some nice comfort and safety. And a replicator, yay! So as you go through and open up crates, you earn sort of these little credit things that you can use to buy gear that otherwise you can't find, like a better backpack, or the turbocharger that I mentioned earlier is in there as well. Notably for this one, there is a epic level barrel stabilizer. If you have a look at my R99, it's currently only got a blue level barrel stabilizer, so I can take that and put it onto my R99, giving it better sort of spread with its bullets. Now we're inside the ring, we're just waiting for the enemy team to show up now. There's 2 squads left, unknown amount of players, so we don't know how many players are in that squad. It could be one person still left alive from that squad, it could be all 3 of them. But it's us versus them, so I'm just going to be sort of running around and scouting, keeping an eye open for where these guys could be, and I will be using my little ping to get information. No hostiles. Of course, if I do find someone, it highlights them in orange as well, so you can see where they are. And oh, there's gunshots going off there, but I don't need to. Down we go. Whoever was on my team got that kill, finished things off, and we are the champion of that match. That is Apex Legends Mobile. I am really enjoying this. Like, the new systems they've added are pretty cool. Yeah, okay, all the currencies and menus and that are confusing as all heck, but the gameplay is solid. It's a lot of fun to play. My wife loves Apex as well, so it's an excellent opportunity for Carrie and I to sort of play some games together and shoot stuff, and we're hoping her brother will join us as well for some future matches, and who knows, maybe I'll record those and get some voiceover in there as well. Actually, you know, record like myself talking as we go. Anyway, folks, that's everything for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you're playing Apex Legends Mobile as well. I think this is a really fun game and definitely one to keep your eyes on if this is the kind of thing you enjoy. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching right the way through to the end. Happy sailing, and see you in the arena!